What's going on, guys? It's Mike from Delmarva Backyard. Today I have a special video for you. It's my first brew day. It's not my very first brew day. It's my first brew day that I'm gonna tape and put on camera for you. It's actually my third overall brew day. So don't hold it against me. Let's see how it goes. This is a new boil kettle I just got done putting together. It's the Blickman Boilermaker G2. I wanted to be able to whole boil the batch. I didn't like partial boiling. I think that's gonna eliminate a lot of potential for problems. This is the kit I bought. It's from More Beer. I wanted a stout because I just really enjoy stouts. I bought their Sweet Stout. Malt extract is an ultralight. Pound of malt black. 12 ounces of Crystal 75 milled, and of course, there's our hops. We're right at 100 degrees, so I have the grains all mixed into the bag, as you can see, and we're gonna go ahead and slowly put those in. Dip them. That smells nice already. Water's changing. 150 and just under 20 minutes in. I'm steeping the grains. That color's coming around. It smells wonderful. This is the first time I've not been on my stove either. Also using the Blickman Hellfire burner. It's been a little bit of a learning process getting everything adjusted so that I got just the right heat going here. All right, we're a half hour in, and we're about 168. Smells wonderful. Not supposed to squeeze this as far as I understand. Just kind of let it drain naturally. Looks like I'm right on the dot at 5 gallons. I might have to add a little bit of extra water. I was hoping not to have to do that. But I want to try to get a full 5 gallons fermenting, because when I boil this, I'm naturally going to lose a little bit. And we're going to get this up to a boil. We came to a boil, and now it's time to put our liquid malt extract and lactose in. Do this nice and slow so it doesn't burn. Lactose. Swirls on. Make sure we stir it out real well. All right, while the heat comes back on that, I'm gonna put the Cascade hops in a hop bag. It's calling for the whole 2 ounces for 60 minutes. Oh gosh, there's just something about the smell of hops. That is nice. Wonderful. These Cascade hops. Just hops in general. I have just grown to love these hops the more I deal with them. I just really don't want to have a boil over on my first setup out here. All right, I'm gonna call it a boil now. We're gonna go ahead and get our hops in. full 5 gallons. That's really nice. I backed the heat down just a little bit because that's the perfect boil right there. Just a nice steady rolling boil. All right, so the hops are in. I'm gonna leave it right there like that for 60 minutes. So we got about 10 minutes left. I put my wort chiller in. I'm supposed to put my Werflock tablet in at 5 minutes, so I'm going to place that in here shortly. We're at the end of the boil. Remove the hops. And now we're ready to start running cold water through the wort chiller. Okay, so we're coming down, we're 160. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my quick connects on. Just took it out of my star sand. I'm gonna thread it on right here. In fact, I'm gonna spray the threads. The threads just to be safe. I sanitized all this before the boil, but I just want to do it again just to be 100% sure. You can see if you come around, I'm at about 4.5 gallons. So I'm gonna have to add about a half gallon onto that. Carboy is all sanitized, ready to go. Hose has been sitting in sanitizer the whole time. So that's the setup right now. We're at 74 degrees. So we're gonna go ahead and cut the wort chiller off and start transferring. This is so much easier than the other setup I had going on with the auto siphon and all that mess. Oh my gosh. This is so much easier. I can't begin to explain to you. I did go ahead and put a half gallon of water into the carboy because we were missing about a half gallon, and I wanted that to already be in there so it would mix together properly. All right, so I'm gonna get a sample for my hydrometer now before it gets too far down. Really? Well, that ain't go the way we wanted it to. On the aerate, then pitch. Sanitize plug. Sanitize air block. So this is my setup in a chest freezer. So that's my setup. I got the carboy in there. I got the probe just kind of hanging, and got that pipe kind of hanging there just to keep the lid off of the airlock. It's not the best setup, but it works for what I have. I'm not gonna go out and buy anything special. It's just kind of the stuff that I have. So I'm kind of making it work for now. Then I have this Inkbird controller, so I'm gonna take the temperature down to 64. See, yeah, I don't know if you can hear that, but the compressor came on. It's gonna take it down to 64. And I got it set so it's plus or minus 2 degrees. Here's what we have going on. About 12 hours into the brew, which was this morning, I came out, and this obviously isn't what I had, but this is what I had to do because the airlock that I had on there was filling up with the foam. So it was starting to make a mess on the top of the plug there, and if I didn't do something, I was going to have a real nasty mess. And so what I did was I had some hose. I took the airlock out, cleaned it. It's ready to go for when this thing calms down. Took some hose, put it through the hole, and then down in there I just have it's just a piece of plastic to help keep the plastic tube from popping up out of the water. I also put my thermometer down into the water, and that'll help give me a more accurate temperature. However, what I had was there's so much CO2 pressure in there, the plug kept trying to pop out, so I had to tape it on. But everything is working well now. You can see we're set at 68 degrees, and it's holding pretty steady. We're almost 48 hours past the brew. And I just took the tube out of the cap and put the airlock back in. And that's what kind of action we have going on. It's still pretty vigorous. I don't think I've had this is definitely the most active batch I've brewed. I think maybe it's from the lactose I put in there. But this thing was going crazy for a while. You can see there's the tube and where I had it. I decided I'm gonna leave the bucket in there with water for the probe. I think it gives it a pretty, it gives it a more accurate reading. But I'm gonna take the bucket, I'm gonna take the water that's in there out and clean it, put some fresh water in there. That's it for brew number 1 on the channel. I'll get back to you when it's all done and I keg it and taste it. Things didn't go as perfect as I wanted them to, and I did end up getting a hydrometer reading. The recipe called for an original gravity to be 1.045 to 1.049. I came in at 1.043, so I'm still new to all this. I don't know where that falls or how that applies or what that means quite yet. Thanks for taking the journey with me, and stay tuned for the updated video on how it turns out. I have a feeling it's probably gonna ferment for a couple of weeks, if not a little bit longer. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. I encourage you to hit the subscribe button down below, check out new videos, and hit show more down below. You can get all the information about stuff we use on the channel. And I really appreciate your interest in the video, and I'll see you next time.